Okay, so Sky Squad, we are back in the building, and y'all remember that story that Drew Sidora told about 2 episodes ago on the Real Housewives of Atlanta about, a certain king of the NBA, hitting her up or, flirting with her or, and she talked about how he was winning, games to to her music and whatnot. And we all were kind of like, wait, who's she talking about? And so when Kenya said Laquan, everybody sort of felt like Drew was referring to LeBron James. Well, here's the thing. Bravo censored the name out, so we couldn't really hear who it was that was being talked about. So we can only say alleged, right? It was allegedly thought that it was LeBron James. Okay. So there's that bit of information. Now, we're going to play you guys some audio and video from Drew Sidora'S sister slash manager who has been managing her uh, for ages. Okay. Now, she's going to get into the LeBron James details and the nitty gritty. Okay. And reveal their side of the story from Drew Sidora'S point of view and from a management perspective as well. She's also going to spill some tea about how long they were working on the deal for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So we're going to get into all of that as well. So y'all grab your coffee mugs, grab your tea mugs, whatever you're drinking on or sipping on, because we're about to get into it. And listen, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and make sure you do so and hit the notification bell button so we can get you a video every time, we can make sure that every time a new video drops. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into what the sister had to say. Okay. And this is coming to us from the Shade Room.
If you guys know how to fact check, Drew met LeBron James around 2000, I think 2 or 2003. Yes, they were talking.
So she does confirm that Drew and LeBron were talking. Like, that's right off the jump. We need to confirm that this is what she is saying.
Matter of fact, Drew and I stay in a hotel. People called me and my sister two girls against the world. Why? Because we were always together. So, hey, LeBron.
Not hey, LeBron.
They dated. They talked on the phone day and night. We went to games. We went to dinners. We weren't sneaking through back alleyways, going through dark tunnels. I know and hung out with Randy, his uncle. I know LeBron James to be a cool guy, a wonderful person, his team. Him and Drew liked each other. They were cool. Do the math. Google 2003, Drew Sidora and LeBron James.
I mean, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, we're going to point to something else that led me to believe that this could possibly be true when we get done with this portion of the video. But it corroborates something that we had done and we had seen earlier when we talked about this. So let's continue on with what she had to say.
Google it. He got married to his wife, from what I understand, his beautiful wife, in 2013. Okay. So I'm looking at all these comments and it's really sad. It's really sad, especially me. So if you guys know, seeing comments from other Black women, stating just the most ignorant, disrespectful, degrading stuff, with all of a sudden y'all just Instagram and social media investigators or journalists. I mean, just stop and stop spreading the lies, spreading this. She had an affair. We come from a family.
So here's the thing. I guess she's addressing people maybe saying that Drew and LeBron had some type of affair, because as you guys may recall, he did post on his Instagram a very, loving letter to his wife, and, posted all of these photos about how, she's been down for him since the very beginning, since high school. So when Sonya said in the episode that she thought that LeBron and, his wife had been together since they were in high school, that's what the internet sort of like was running with. I mean, a lot of people had heard the same thing.
My father's a pediatrician. My mom's a pastor. We don't sleep with other people's husbands. Okay. We just don't do that at all. And so at the end of the day, I really need you guys to focus on what's really real.
So she goes on to talk about all of the things that's going on in the world or whatever.
Business, check her resume. She played T-Boz in a TLC movie. We've gotten over.
So here's where she's going to get into some interesting Atlanta tea. Okay, so tap in for this part.
Over maybe 40 movie credits. It took me 5 years to procure the deal for Real Housewives of Atlanta on Bravo. And she's
interesting. Like, I had heard before that she had been, trying to get on the show. But it just sort of makes everything fall into place now, sometimes about her persona on the show. And sometimes people feel like she comes across a little bit too eager. I don't know. I can't really call it. I mean, it's interesting though. I am liking Drew a bit more this season. And I think that her first season, she came across as maybe a little bit less authentic than I think she could have. But I think she's sort of warming up to what she's supposed to be doing and maybe being a bit more natural this season. But I'm not sure. You guys let me know in the chatterization down below. Let me know your thoughts on that. But that was an interesting little tidbit that we got right there.
Played in the game, That's So Raven, as Chantel. Step Up, we have a gold record. She was the only unsigned artist on the soundtrack for Step Up. We're legitimate people, and we don't need to cloud chase or brag about anybody on the show. She just simply said she dated a basketball player. She never said his name. But guess what? We don't need to brag about anybody. We're all humans. Unless Jesus Christ himself, we touch the cloth of his robe. That would be the only thing that we would brag about. Other than that, we're all humans. We date people. We don't have affairs. It was not an affair. Okay, so that's it. I don't know how.
All right. So the sister is letting us know that this was not an affair. I never thought it was an affair. I simply thought that maybe there was maybe a gap between when him, maybe him and, his now wife had, maybe taken some time apart, because if people been together for that long, I mean, it's not beyond the realm of possibility that they might have taken, a break at some point and, might have dated other people. But as I had talked to you guys about previously in a different video, as the sister did mention, you can simply Google Drew Sidora and LeBron James. And again, we're going to point back to our friends over at Bravo While Black, the Instagram post they made and said, wait, y'all, Drew might not be lying, per the Chicago Tribune in 2003. Again, we point out that the article states allegedly that and her name keeps being mentioned as the main squeeze of high school to the NBA star LeBron James of the Cleveland Cavaliers, whom she met in Los Angeles. And it says, well, Drew. And then she says, I don't like to talk about my personal life, Sidora told us over lunch at Phil Stefani's 437 Rush last week. I'll just say that he's my boy. We're really good friends. Okay. And so, again, this is taken from an article from the Chicago Tribune in December of 2003. But we also know that LeBron James wasn't married, at least according to these records, per the Shade Room, until 2013, as the wife stated. Hold on, it's right here. Let me pull that up right quick. Yeah, so a quick Google search will tell you that bit of intel right there. So I don't necessarily think that people thought it was an affair per se. I just feel like people thought, based on what was stated on the show, like, maybe there was some sort of like, was there some sort of break in LeBron and his wife's relationship? We don't really know. That's the crazy thing. All we can go by is what we are being told. And the sister/manager to Drew Sidora is setting the record straight about the LeBron James situation. So what do you guys think about this whole thing now? Did you guys think that Drew Sidora was lying? And I must reiterate that all commentary on this channel is alleged, but I do want to know what you guys think about this. It's gotten very interesting, especially with the sister speaking out. I'm interested to hear what you guys think about this. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section down below. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell button, and I will catch you in the next.